Morning.
Good morning. So quick update from last week, and then let's go ahead and move into overview of this week and talk about evaluation.
Well, the weather didn't quite work out for the outside activity. The kids were very upset. We're going to try again this week. It just happened to rain when we were going to go outside and run the bleachers and throw the ball and read. But anyway, we did some more spirit reading, and that worked really well. And positive comments from the kids.
I got a lot of more positive comments this time. I think they're a little more used to it. Now, they forgot to do some of the predicting, so we said we'd work on that a little bit more, but for the most part, I thought it went well.
It went very well. And let's see. Yeah, the vocab and everything was, I think they're getting the vocab pretty well. So, yeah, I mean, we just had to change kind of what we were doing, and then we had guidance come in, and that took a little longer, so.
Oh, and then we had the Danish.
Oh, and we had the Danish exchange. Oh, that's right. We changed it up Friday, and we had some exchange students from Denmark, and so we went to their presentation. So, a little bit different.
Well, that's good. Sounds like you're comfortable as co-teachers being flexible, so that's a good thing too.
So. Anyway, but yeah, this week we have let's see, more of finishing up the chapter we're on, and then getting ready for the end of the quarter test. So just talking about assessment would be good for that test, because I want to give more of a traditional test. Because sometimes in life you have to take a traditional test.
You do, absolutely. Yes. All right, so let's talk for a minute about that traditional test. What's the format? How many questions? What does traditional mean to you, Lisa?
Well, probably a little bit of multiple choice and matching true false in a written part.
Yeah.
All right, and written part, how many written, how many multiple choice, and how many matching?
Well, we'll have to talk about that. Yeah, we haven't made it yet. So we have to, since it's a brand new book, we don't have much except for just what we've paid. Teachers pay teachers works really well. We're going to take them on the vocab, but I don't know. I don't really like matching for vocab. I think maybe just giving them two choices would be the best, since they have a lot of words.
Yeah, especially with all the words, if we're doing the literature terms, two different chapters.
I won't give them all the words, because that would be too much.
Yeah.
They have, let's see, 11, 13, so that's 24, and then...
13 this time, so 37.
Yeah, about 37, about 40 words. So maybe half of those words, would you think?
Yeah, so TJ, talk to me for a minute, and then we'll talk about the words in just a second. What do you, from multiple choice, matching, and open-ended, what are your concerns for the students that have IEPs with those formats? What are you most worried about?
Well, typically in our accommodations, we have only 3 multiple choice answers, and then we only do matching for only like 5 or 10 in groups. So we group those words to help not have as many choices. And then for extended questions, we usually limit down the sentences. Instead of it being 5 or 8 sentences, it's 3. Or just make sure you get the idea.
So I'm going to stretch you guys both a little bit and see what your thoughts are. How about the test being traditional, but you're a park state, correct? Is that your new test? Okay. Why not half of it be multiple choice on the computer, so you can get kids to practice for the park, and use something like Socrates that would give immediate feedback. And that way then it's downloaded, it's graded, you don't have anything to grade. That will save you a lot of time, and maybe that's something TJ could do. And TJ, here's what I'm thinking. And of course, Lisa, you're welcome to do it. I don't mean to assign TJ tasks, but we're just thinking, because then what I'm thinking, TJ, is maybe you could have 2 rooms, like kids could sign into your room, and the other kids could sign into Lisa's room, and they both be downloaded. But in your room, I get a chance to correct my quiz to mastery. And in your room, Lisa, so there's 20 words in your room with multiple choice or matching or whatever you decide to use Quizlet for. So making part of the test on the computer, because your kids got to get used to that with Park. Right. And so if you did half that way, it saves you time, and it's meeting the standards of Park. And so here's what I'm thinking if I were in your room, that you would sign into room 19778, which is my room if you have a disability. You would not, you wouldn't say that to the class, but you'd say, here's your room number, pass that out. Other kids would sign into room 19000, which would be your room, Lisa Palmer.
Mm-hmm.
And so they would sign into your room. And when they get into your room, Lisa, they take the test and it's corrected and they get the feedback immediately. They don't do anything more about it, but they know how they did immediately.
Mm-hmm.
In your room, TJ, they go in, or in my room, and they would come in and it would give them the right answer and they get a chance to take it twice.
No, we do that already, especially for failed tests. Or quizzes. We let them retake it or correct it for a passing grade to make sure they have again that mastery. And then were we thinking about doing it on Skyward?
Well, we have Skyward, so you can take it right through Skyward, and it just goes straight to your grade book. So we can do it
That
way.
would be great. The only thing, though, that maybe one group does Skyward and one does Socrates, because what I'm thinking is I would like to let the kids with disabilities see their errors as their first run through, and immediately their extended time is they take it a second time immediately after they see their mistakes.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And then the third time would be they can correct it. But I want them to have practice with Park of making those decisions. And then I would lower the response numbers from 4 choices to 2.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
If everybody else is going to have 4 or 3 or whatever, I would eliminate 1 response choice, just to make that a little bit easier. Okay, so that's the short answer multiple choice. The matching one.
And we can
I'm wondering.
on the fan.
Well, I don't mind it, but I'm thinking about something again creative. What about doing some images, matching the word with pictures?
Oh, that's a good idea.
Okay, we use a lot of pictures.
Yeah, that'd be really good. Because
I think I would do that, and then maybe to differentiate it, offer bonus points if they could write the definition.
That could work.
Yeah, that could work. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we've gone low and we've gone high. Now the extended response. Explain to me again what you do with the extended response.
Well, I was thinking that for some of the kids it could be purely plot summary, and for some of the kids it could be applying the big question. So then we higher level Bloom's taxonomy.
The only thing I might add, the recommendation, again, I'm putting my Park head on just because I've done a lot of work in learning about Park and then Florida pushed back from it, is I would probably immediately try to teach a strategy for your short response questions, whatever you most commonly use, either KWL. I actually love graphic organizers, so that they don't just go and do their short response, but you actually require something before they do their short response.
Okay. That is Park. That's good. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, and that's an allowed accommodation for all kids. So why not teach them test taking? So what you say is, and try really hard, research says don't talk about this is the state test because that makes them do worse. It raises their stress level. But say this is test taking strategies you can use to go to college. Okay. These are test taking strategies that will get you a higher score on the ACT and the SAT. Don't use the word Park or you'll find they'll do worse because their hormones that they will secrete will make them feel yucky and they'll feel like there's failure.
Okay, right.
So I would, and then order, just one last thought, and then I'll let you open it up again for you to talk. I would do short response first because that's the mentally most taxing for kids with disabilities. So they're using their most energy for that one. Then I would do the matching second. And then because you're going to let them fail, I would do the multiple choice last. Because then if they don't do well and they feel bad and they know their test score, you won't have tainted their ability to believe they could do well on the other part.
Okay.
So we'd start with that, move to there. And then the last one I would do is at the top of the test, however order you're going to give it, I would have them fill in this blank. Today about this test, I feel blank.
Okay.
And that way you guys can go around and monitor, and the kid who says, I feel like crap, you can do an intervention before they start to make them believe they can do better.
Okay.
And so what I would do is if the first question is wrong for that kid who says they feel like crap, say, well, your second question's correct. What do you think that means about your first question? And so it reinforced them to feel good, and you've given them a chance to do even better, and you'll find that crappy feeling will start to lift. All right, questions you have?
Well, I thought actually that it's possible that we could do the short response the first day and then the multiple choice the second day. So we could break
Love that. I love that idea. I love that idea.
It's for your kids. Well, it's because of what I'm used to teaching that I'm always amazed how much longer this is. So
Yeah.
we can get one done and then do the other. So that would be fine.
And just so you know, extended time, TJ, I'm kind of an anti-extended time person. So I'll let you two decide. But if I already am working 150% harder than everybody else because I have a disability, giving me more time just asks me to run at a higher speed longer. So instead, what I recommend is if you see a kid really struggling, just cut the multiple choice in half, if Lisa's okay with that. Or just do one short response instead of asking me to keep running, because I'm already going 5 miles an hour, and Jen over here is going a mile an hour, so she can sustain. We give kids extended time. It doesn't necessarily help unless you're giving it over a long period of time.
Okay.
So that's why I love you breaking it up. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's good. That's good.
Other things you want to know?
This week's kind of catching up.
Well, and we have to think how many questions too would be reasonable.
Yeah.
Because it'll be the multiple choice will be based on the story. It'll be based on the graphic organizers and the questions they've had to answer in class.
One last quick fun one you might try is let all the kids on a postcard or on a note card write their name and write a question they want in the test, and then when you make the test, put their name next to the question.
Yeah, that's good. I like that.
And pick your kid with a disability as one of their questions first. That's the lowest motivator, because they'll feel really good that they were the author of that question and they'll know how to answer it.
That's good.
Yeah, that way you don't have to write test questions. The kids write them for you.
Exactly.
I'm all about making it easier on you. All right. One last question I have. How about roles in co-teaching? Finding parity? You both doing okay there?
I think it's going well.
It's gone very well. He made me red on vocab, so that was really good. And I don't think the kids see us as
one lead, one follow. I don't think they see that at all. I think they just see us as two
teachers.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And we have.
Well, we see that clearly. We brag about you guys all over the country already, just so you know.
We have it's kind of nice because actually we have a third teacher in class. We have an aide for a student with a visual disability, and so it's wonderful because she just works with that group and help them out too. So they're really getting 3 teachers in the class.
That's wonderful. You should see test scores go through the roof. Well, I would love to put that on the list next week of some things to maybe do with the aide, with the visual impairment for the whole class. That would be appropriate for an aide to do, and we can talk a little bit about that role if you'd like to, but that's just one item. What else would you guys like to talk about as we wrap up?
Well, let's see. Well, I think more creative ideas to finish off this novel, because we still have 2 sections. They're shorter.
They're way shorter.
They're way shorter.
We still got the 2 presentations to do, but yeah, I can't go the same way. I just don't want them getting bored of the story before it ends.
I think they're doing well with it, and I'm still going to go, when we're done with this section, I'm still going to ask them, which we didn't get done last week like I wanted because of all the unplanned activities, but the questions you still have, because we found out the coach basically, based on his exercises and bleacher runs, has a kid die, and so that was one big question the kids had. Why is this coach fired? Well, that's why. So, what other questions do you have, and then which ones are answered by the end of the novel? So I still want to.
Yep. Kind of try to keep them in
Well, it would be fun for the last 2 sections for one of you to do something different you haven't tried, and the other to do something different you haven't tried, and each of you take a lead so that you're both saying we're willing to be creative, but you're not trying to be creative together. But it might be time, because you're so comfortable with each other, for each of you to take a section and say, all right, TJ, just turn it loose and go do something crazy with it. Lisa, you turn it loose and do something, and see and give each other feedback and support in that role. That would kind of differentiate your roles because you're so comfortable. And then I just typed a word up there. If you'll Google that, it's an ancient, I believe it's an ancient Chinese storytelling thing called kamishpa. If you'll see it in the chat box up here, see it in the top left. It's Kamisbha or BAI, Kamishba.
I don't see it.
You don't see the text box? Do you see that box now that I'm moving around? No?
No.
Okay. Well, I'll just spell it for you. It's KMISHISBHBAI. And I'll send you a link to the site.
Okay.
It's a storytelling that was used in China to get people to come and buy candy. And the guy used this whole process, and it uses cooperative roles. And it's mostly used in elementary classrooms, but for a short section, it might be a perfect thing to do. And you could even add things like videotaping the groups and all that kind of stuff if you wanted to do some really creative things there.
Oh, okay, that sounds good. And I also thought in one of the chapters we probably should do a few samples of the brown bag, because that's how we're going to test them at the end, so they start to get that.
So maybe one of you do the brown bag and maybe the other one do the Kamishba. Again, just an idea. I can give you others, but we can talk those through next week. I think that would be a great topic, okay?
That sounds good.
All right, it's fun as always. You guys are great. Anything to add, Jen?
No.
Okay,
I
good.
think we're great.
I did a lot of talking today, so I'll let you do more next time. All right, thanks, guys.
Thanks for all you do.
Thank you.
Thanks. All right, have a great day.
Bye.
Bye.